Welcome to Tales of the Ever After.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tales of the Ever After, a D&D actual play podcast about a group of adventurers finding out that the trouble with destiny is all the trauma that gets in the way. I'm Tyler Borff. I'm your DM, your co-storyteller in this. I'm joined by my friends who tell the majority of this story, including Randall Marsh.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Randall Marsh. I'm playing an elf. My elf's named Alaric Athilden. He is a warlock with a celestial patron named Evisrian. And he's got a cool, what do we call it? Kintsugi looking sword now.
Mm-hmm. Also, to remind everyone, myself included, a ginger.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's a ginger elf.
Awesome. I'm also joined by Kate J. White.
Hey, I'm Kate J. White. I play Larcia Thilden, the level 8 herbalist druid, Circle of Spores, and Alaric's sister.
Lovely. And last but definitely not least, we've got Lynn Shephard.
Oh, thanks so much, Ty. You know, we're all here. We all put in a lot of training. You know, we're doing our best out here. The dice will tell us what happens, but, you know, we're really putting our heart in here. So hope it's a good game, you know. We'll all go out and celebrate after this. I'm Stephanie Bradshaw. You know, I've been doing this for years, but I'm really here to put it all out on the field. So thank you so much.
And we cut live to Ollie with the weather. Ollie, what's it look like out there? Fantastic. You all ready to just dive into this episode? I see a lot of dour faces, concern.
I came to dance. Let's dance.
Lovely.
I can't dance.
Oh, no.
Want to bet?
This is the dancing episode.
You know how many people have said that to me? I've had 3 separate dates walk out on me when they see me dance.
Stop.
I have too.
No,
I have too. Well, it's always the like, oh, you're good at music. You've got great rhythm. I can teach you to dance. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Yeah, it never ends well.
Yeah.
How
and everybody's
dare
just like,
they?
And there's always
How
that moment,
dare
like
they?
5 minutes in, and you see it dawn on them, like, oh, you can't dance.
Yeah.
Like, I said that.
yeah. And it's just like, I know you want to prove me wrong,
Yeah.
and you're going to make me do this, and we're both going to be embarrassed for me.
Yes.
I need names.
I don't know.
Oh,
It was
a long
fine.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rough. I wouldn't walk out on either of you.
No, but
I might laugh and point, but I wouldn't walk out on you.
You might kill us in a fantasy role-playing game.
Oh, that's different. That's unrelated to your dancing skills. War has come to Agarad. So high above the kingdom, up in the sky, you have these 4 Eldarian airships. These things are vast. They are terrifying. Long hulls. You see these armored spines of dark steel, reinforced wood, banded crimson plating etched in these sharp imperial runes across the sides. Every line of these vessels is purposeful. There's no ornament. There's no excess. This thing is built not to inspire wonder or awe. It is built to enforce obedience. And you see that they are still raining fire down throughout the Agarad kingdom. 3 of these are focusing in and starting to travel towards the castle. One of them is already pretty close above the castle. And the 4th one that is more south of you right now is aiming its way towards Norla Gate. Alaric and Larcia, you are stealthily making your way through the town. You're very far away from Norla Gate at this point. As you've been sneaking, it's taking you a little longer. You've been more at risk of random missiles hitting you from the airships. You are on the outside of the castle wall, so then you still have to run through the town proper to get over to where Norla Gate is. Both of you go ahead and make perception checks for me.
9.
Natural 20.
Cool. On your natural 20, and this probably makes sense because, Larcia, your vision is still limited in its range anyways. Alaric, you notice fewer and fewer Eldarians are in your way. Like most of them have either run towards the castle or this space in between you seems to be, with every step you take, you're hearing less and less things in front of you that are immediately in front of you. Like things are either getting farther away in front or there's just a lot of action going on behind you now inside the castle walls. With that information, what do you two want to do?
Stephanie has a stone. I think we need to stay together.
I agree. Oh, wait, I'm still the creator. I agree.
Are you? Did you?
I didn't shift back. What kind of cover is around us?
Yeah.
This is the town proper. So you've got like stone paved streets, and then you've got buildings, city stuff all around you to kind of go through alleyways, streets, you name it. You've got it there.
Should we risk just moving faster?
Yeah, perhaps a little bit.
So with the barrier down, is it night? Is it day?
What time of day is it?
Yeah, good question. So the barrier is fully down. It is early morning, like the sun is rising.
Also, we need all the help we can get. I'm going to pop out Lenoj, and he's just going to sit on my shoulder and perch there.
Tail wraps around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get to the stone.
Okay.
And we have to get to Stephanie.
Going to make a run for it then.
Right?
Right, so we'll start dashing.
Awesome. You start running, and like I said, you're not hearing anyone really around you. As you're running, you see like one or two soldiers off into the side, but as you're running, they don't know what to do with you. You see Eldarians and Agrid soldiers, and they just pretty much ignore you for the most part. Go ahead and both of you roll a D100 for me. Right now, it'll be a 95 or higher for a random missile strike.
There's a 7. 007.
74.
Cool. Missiles still hitting everywhere, but you seem to have a fairly safe path forward. You guys are running for a while. We cut back over to Stephanie.
Hello.
Hello. You have just shot the one soldier in the head who called out that he saw you holding the stone. You see, like right now, it's interesting. Like the gate itself, Norla Gate, is actually still standing, but like the walls next to it are shattered and broken. There are a few archers and crossbowmen on top of like the crenellations up there, but there's just holes in the wall everywhere. Big chunks of the wall completely missing that have been hit directly by missile fire. And then you see out in the distance, it's about like 100 feet between the wall and then where the barrier ends. And about 50 to 60 feet out, you can see Agrid soldiers engaged in melee combat with Eldarian soldiers. And then you see that there's more behind the walls that are using all sorts of like makeshift ranged weapons. There's a few people that have like limited magical abilities, so people are throwing cantrips out there as well, trying to just make the Eldarians bleed for every step that they take. Again, you see Alina there acting like a true battlefield general. She is just directing everyone. You probably take a moment, like not in the sense like you lose like an action or anything, but you can take this moment where you just see like, oh, she knows what the fuck is up, has not been sitting around idly for the last 30 years, and is commanding this battlefield as best she can with what she has. She does look back because you shoot the gun, which is not something that most of them have available to them. So she sees you, just kind of nods to you, and then she just keeps giving orders to the soldiers around her.
How far away is she?
At this point from where you're at, like you ran out there, I'd say she's 50-ish feet away.
How many people are between me and her?
Generic people or like Eldarians?
Like enemies?
Oh, there's no enemies like on your side inside the city where you're at right now. So everyone now is currently on the other side of the wall.
Oh, cool. I mean, is it just generic like houses and market buildings and stuff around us?
Yeah, so this on the other side of Norla Gate, there's a little bit of like grassland for just a few yards, a road that goes into the town, and then it's kind of like stables. Like normally, prior to whatever has happened here, this would have been like one of the main entrance gates of like trade and stuff. So you have a couple like trading posts and things where their caravans would store animals.
Yeah, I'll just go catch up to Alina, and then I think I'll just take aim at an approaching soldier.
Cool. Yeah, you run up and you hear she's like just shouting at the troops. She goes, "Hold the line. Show them why General Telnor feared to face the might of Agared." And then, yeah, the soldier's coming around a corner. You're able to just take him out. She looks at you, goes, "Stephanie, it's good to see you. Can you put the fucking stone away?"
Oh, this.
"Yes, that."
Would you like it?
No, we can't touch it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes.
That might have been part of my plan.
I'm pretty sure 2 sessions ago, Cartelord told you this.
I'm pretty sure I've been without ADHD meds for a month now.
Oh. This will be the sad, like, kazoo sound.
Fuck. Yeah, I've got a bag. I guess I'll just put it in the bag. Yeah, I mean, I'll just set my bag on the ground. If there's nothing near us, I'll just kind of take my time. And I'd imagine Tailnor would have been in there, so I'll put him back in my hood.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like take important thing out, put others less important thing into bag, put Tailnor in your hood.
Yeah.
And then sorry, just to clarify, it sounded like you said you leave the bag on the ground, or do you pick it back
No,
up?
pick it
Okay,
up.
cool.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, you do that easily enough. And she just kind of looks at you and goes, Stephanie, we need to get you and that stone. Where are your friends at? We need to get you out of here.
Well, if my math is correct, they're about a mile away. So, bad news. I do believe they called out that the stone is here, so perhaps we move from this location?
Where are we going to go? We can move south along the gate, but some of them have made entries down there. Back towards the castle is not going to work right now. My father gave the code to stay away from there. We need to hide you in the stone.
Where was Aldred?
Aldred had said he was by the south gate.
So here's my train of thought. If they're heading towards the castle, they're heading towards this gate, they think they've already won that gate from the sounds of it, because it sounded like Aldred was dying. So it seems like our best course of action, if this is where we are, this is where the castle is, and this is where the south gate is to cross that line and get away from these 2 points of interest that they're all converging on.
Yeah, you have to try that for sure.
Yeah, cool. Alina, I think that we need to head towards the south gate. I'm sorry, my bedside manner isn't the best. I think Aldred may have fallen there, but if everybody's converging here in the castle, then that might be our best course of action. Also, I'm not sure it matters what we do here.
Stephanie, I don't know what the right course of action is, but we can make it matter by making them terrified of what they've done here. We can make them pay for everything that they've done. We can make it matter even if we're not around to see it matter.
Sure. But let's make it matter on the way to the south gate. Can I see the airship that's slowly approaching us?
Yeah, it's coming from the direction you'll be running.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. This is going to be a DC 20 persuasion check.
13.
Yeah, so you look, she goes, I can't abandon the soldiers here. We have to make a stand. If you want to get to the south gate, we can buy you time to get to south gate. I heard Aldred, I already knew. I heard him go out on the sending stones. Whatever we do, we need to make sure that the Empress doesn't find the stone. And that means that they can't find you. Right now, you're the most important person in the city.
Oh, shush. You flatter me.
Kind of flip your hair behind your ear. Like, oh, stop it.
I want to say, like, in between exchanges here, I'm just turning around and shooting out into the wave of approaching
cool,
soldiers.
awesome,
yeah. Well, we can't get out this way. There's airships preventing us from, sprouting wings and flying away to safety. Like, we've got some sort of ring. There's no way to get back to the castle. The south gate sounds compromised. What are we going to do?
Did you ever get that other scroll from Concha? If you got that scroll, you can just hide.
Well, no. But we do have the one that was supposed to prevent us from dying in the first place.
You told me you pawned it.
That was the plan.
Now she's like standing up, just like arguing and yelling at you while all these things are going on around her. Like she's just like enraged. Stephanie Bradshaw. Bed's empty? No note?
Okay, so go back to Alark and Larsha. Let me think about this.
Cool. Alark and Larsha, you're, it's been a little bit. Both of you roll another D100 for me.
46.
37.
Sweet. Continue to be safe from random missiles. At this point, it's been close to 15-ish minutes since you've left Katja Lorden in the castle. What you don't see deep underneath the castle, in that room where the stone fragment was floating, Katja Lorden is still fighting off all sorts of Ildarian soldiers. There's just corpses on the ground of these line soldiers. A few of the shock troopers have come in. These are heavier broader, like their armor's designed to sort of just break through resistances. They have like reinforced overlapping plates, these thick collars. They look like these giant hulks. They're almost inhuman in the way that they're designed.
Man.
Spikes and ridges line their pauldrons. They're not decorative, they're functional. Like their intent is to like get in there and just start impaling people on the sides there. And they can use it to tear through shields and flesh. And she's fighting a few of these as she blasts this final shock trooper. It lands on the ground, and where the shadow is, the darkness in that shadow starts to bubble up from the ground, and rising from it is this tall, alien-looking, just dark shadow, 2 red eyes, and the center of it, where its torso is, this mouth starts to smile wide with the rows of razor-sharp teeth, this dark crimson tongue, and starts to cast this massive spell towards Katja. She's still floating up in the air, this golden light shining from her body. And she recognizes what this means and what this creature is. There's only a handful of these creatures in the entire Eldarian army. What she does is she looks at this creature and she thinks about her life and being conscripted into the Eldarian army, being forced and subjugated to these torturous experiments that enabled her to fuse with an Athel. She remembers being in charge of entire regiments of the Eldarian armies and sort of helping Eldarians step out and expand their reach around Dulcia prior to the Cataclysm. She remembers the regret of those actions and those decisions. She remembers the horror of finding out what General Taelnor had done at Agared. And then she remembers the joy and the peace that she found being here for the last 30 years, helping these people live the life that was robbed from them. And she focuses in on the one thing that she does know very well, which is she was tied into part of the Empress's plans. She knows about the stone. She knows about the fact that the legends say it was a human and an Athel that were fused together, that made a sacrifice and a decision to become this key to lock away a realm. And she focuses in her own inner energy and fuses both sides of her. And as this creature's getting ready to cast this spell, she turns herself into this giant floating crystal. This spell hits the crystal. It shatters into 4 pieces, and the 4 pieces of this crystal go shooting straight up into the sky. What you do see is you hear this massive explosion coming from on top of the castle, and you look back and you see these 4 shooting beams of light going up into the sky. And then you see where they hit the darkest dark of the light of the morning as the sun is starting to peek over. It forms these giant black holes up in the sky. And you see these meteors come flying down out of these holes. Hits the first airship, destroys it. Hits the second airship, destroys it. Hits the third airship, destroys it. It goes to hit the 4th airship, and as it's going to hit that airship, the shield appears around it and just deflects off of it harmlessly. Fragments of the meteor hits the town. You see all these explosions pretty close to where you're at this point. As it's coming towards Norla Gate, it's not very far away from it at all. It's in range to start attacking that gate directly and dropping troops in. And then you watch these fireballs of what used to be these massive warships start to just slowly descend as they're getting ready to crash into the city. The one right above the castle, you watch as it obliterates the castle. What do you guys do?
Panic.
Oh.
Was it just the one barrage coming from the sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do see the castle is like...
Yeah, the castle is gone. The crystals
obliterated.
are in the air.
Yeah, this one airship
The ships are coming down.
crashes into it. Well, what was left of it, because it just completely fractured it.
I don't think Katya would have survived that.
I don't think anyone survived that.
My weasel did.
One can hope. How far are we?
You are like a minute away from her right now.
Okay.
Stephanie, we'll go back to you. You saw this happen. You can see that other airship is looking down over you guys. Any second now, troops are going to start jumping out of that thing and surround you guys.
I don't know what the fuck to do here because it seems like she's not going to leave and I'm not going to leave if she doesn't leave. Yeah, I think I want to do, you know the scene from Hot Fuzz where he's loading the shotgun and he just says shame?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. Cool. It's just that. It's just checking my ammo and loading both pistols and
Sweet.
remembering that I have a crossbow on my back.
Okay. So you're just waiting for troops to arrive.
Yeah.
Cool. Alina sees that the airship's coming, so she's trying to like move her troops. They're still on the other side, so it was about, that battle line was about 50 feet away. It's now about 30 feet away. The wall is about 10 feet thick, so from where you're at, essentially that's still 40-ish feet away. The airship is flying pretty much above you guys right now, and you can see as it lowers itself down, so it gets maybe about 100 feet off the ground. The front underneath portion of it just kind of opens up, and you can see that there are these 12 cages that are underneath it, and it looks like 4 of them are occupied currently by something. In fact, if Stephanie would want to know what that is, you can make a perception check. 17. So you can see that there are people in those 4 ones. There's people locked up. The cages are a little thick for you to tell specifically. One looks like a smaller humanoid. There's a larger humanoid, and then 2 like normal-sized humans.
And they like each have their own cage?
Yes, they're each locked in like a single, like one-person cage.
Have we established that Stephanie has a spyglass?
I think it's completely fair to say that you have one for sure.
Can I use that to try to figure out what the fuck those people are? Are they people that I recognize?
Pause there for a second. So you look at that and you see that. You see standing at the edge of that thing is the Empress, and she's wearing full battle armor. She has her the helmet off, so you can see her face, the purple skin tiefling, the black horns, and you see that red glowing chain around her neck. And she looks down, and you hear her projecting her voice. She goes, "Oh, I gave you time to surrender. It's a shame you chose to spend it so badly. Give me the stone now." As you hear her say that, you pull out your spyglass. It's Heave, Poe, Caius, and Glass Eye.
Is she looking at me?
She doesn't know you specifically have it.
Yeah. Okay. When I see that, I am going to take... So I have 197 gold on me. Is it fair to assume that some of that would be in copper pieces?
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling my hooded lantern with oil. And
So if you're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, we're going to go into initiative.
yes, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Roll for initiative. Randall.
Dirty 20.
Kate.
Also, a lab-grown 20.
And Lynn.
16.
The Adarians go. They're still out for the most part, engaged with the Agrid soldiers. That line is going to move another 10 feet closer. So now it is only 20 feet away from the other side of the wall. Alark and Larsha, you both have a 20. You can go at the same time. You are currently, like, you can see where the airship is relative to you. You guys are, you're about 150 feet away from it right now.
And you can see Hevo and Caius.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. We don't have
You see
spyglass.
you see the cages.
Oh, we can see the cages.
But we don't.
We don't know.
You can't see the
I
cages.
can't.
They're outside your radius.
Yeah, can I mean, that actually does change a lot. Would I be able to see the occupants of the cages?
You can use your action to use the search action.
So in my mind, though, that's just an airship with the Empress on it.
I still think we need to get to Stephanie and hide the stones. That's what she's looking for.
I mean, okay, just real quick.
Yeah.
Above the table, we could have you start creating the mansion. It's going to take a minute now that we're in initiative. And then I could
Yeah.
always run over and grab Stephanie and like, they wouldn't necessarily know.
I can stay where I'm at. You can give me the mansion and I can set it up.
I'm going to hand the scroll to Larsha.
I'm going to take it. Do I just take cover in a building nearby and set it up?
I think we need to use it. I think start casting it.
Right. I'm going to find a house that's maybe partially destroyed. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take some of the purple flowers out of my hair and put it on the steps leading up to the doorway.
Cool.
And I'm going to find a closet.
You use all of your movement to get inside this one building that's right next to you. It looks like it was somebody's house until recently. The roof is kind of caved in. The second floor, there's holes in there, so light's coming in. You put those flowers at the steps so that way they'll know to follow you in there. And you find there's a little pantry right there that the door is still barely on its hinges. It's been fractured from the explosion. And you huddle down in the corner. You start concentrating on the spell, and that will take you 1 minute to cast.
For my action, I will use the Sending Stone, which we said I do have, right?
Yep.
Okay. To try to, I don't know if Stephanie's going to hear it, but I'm going to start talking. Stephanie, we're making the mansion. We're close. We can see the gate. We need to hide. We need to get that stone hidden.
Okay, cool. Any movement for you?
Nope, I'm going to stay hidden.
So you're just outside that?
Yep.
Cool. Alina and the Agrid soldiers are up.
Do you send Lenoge to me?
Yeah, so if you're going to send him out, roll initiative for him.
Yeah, 6.
Okay, so when he comes up, you can ask him at that point to run towards Stephanie. Alina and the Agrid soldiers, they are still fighting against the Eldarians on the other side of the gate. She has a few that are on the top of the ridge and on her side of the gate, where her and Stephanie are. She looks to all the soldiers. She looks up at the Eldarian Empress. She can hear that battle is getting closer and closer from behind the wall. And she stands up. She's going to use a rallying cry to inspire everybody. And she just stands there. She looks at everyone. She goes, I see you. I see every one of you. We will fall today. I cannot hide that from you. But we will fall standing together. Everyone in that range has advantage on all of their attack rolls. That's her action. Stephanie, don't let her know you have the stone. If we can get you out of here, we can hide it. We'll make her think we have it here. And that will be it for her turn. Stephanie, you're up.
In my Thieves' Tools, I probably have a file, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to begin very quickly filing down as many copper coins as I can.
Oh, it's going to, per action, you're going to file 1 copper coin.
Okay, cool. And I will call out to the Empress. Oh, did Tailnor tell you about my business? You know, I gave him a card so long ago.
She doesn't respond, but that's fucking funny. Also, I'm going to say, because she's highly intelligent, she's been scrying on you. She now knows you're down there specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I think I'm just going to wave at her.
Cool. It's the Empress's turn. So she sees you waving, has no clue what you're doing, because that's like, she just sees you doing something down there. And then you just wave enthusiastically at her. It's so far away that I don't know if you actually see this, but there's a little bit of a smirk that goes on her face. You think you're showing courage, but you have no leverage. Your actions, like your life, is a waste. She raises her hand, and the cage holding Ho opens up. With 70 points of bludgeoning damage, you watch as Ho is released from the cage. He tries to hold on in the last second and slips. He lands on the ground, and his body is shattered and broken. He sees ribs pop out of his chest as Ho is now lying dead on the ground, 20-ish feet away from you. And that is going to be it for the Empress's turn. It's Lenoge's turn.
Yeah, I'll have Lenoge. He's not going to get all the way there. I'll have him dash. It's 80.
Okay, 80 total feet?
Yeah.
Cool. You actually see Lenoge come around the corner, and it's about 30 feet away from you right now. Cool. We go to the top of their round. The Eldarians, I'm going to roll to see how well they do on the opposite side of the gate there. The Agrid soldier is able to hold the line, so the line doesn't move. Alaric, you're up.
So I can see where Larsha is, where she's gone into, right?
Yeah, you watched her go. You watched her lay the flowers down.
So that was 1 round.
That was round 1.
Okay. So I will move closer, but I still want to stay out of eyeshot of the Empress. So I want to get within doing stuff range. But
you're going to have to define that much more clearly.
Right. So I still have Long Strider up. So I'll get I'll try to have the distance.
Cool. Yeah, you're able to go through some of the buildings there. So you get to the edge of one of them. So you can actually now see where Lenoge is. You see where you can clock all of the scenery for where the gate has fallen.
Cool.
And then, yeah, you can peek your head around and look up at the the Empress. And you can see at this point, you see Ho's broken body in front of you.
Shit. Yeah, I'll look up at, if I know that that's Ho, I'll look and see who else is in the cages. Can I see at this point?
This is close enough. You can make a perception check without having to do the search action.
Okay. 23.
It's still far enough away that if you didn't have Ho right there, you would be like, I can sort of make out shapes even on a 23. With Ho, you can make out, yep, that's the body type of Heave. Yep, that's the body type of Caius. Probably don't know who the fourth one is.
Okay. And I can see Stephanie.
Yes.
What is Stephanie doing?
You probably see me waving.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just stay hidden.
Are you holding an action or are you just giving up your turn?
Hide?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Not a rogue anymore. It's a 12.
Okay, 12. Larsha, your turn. You have to spend your action continuing to concentrate on this spell. So this will be round 2. You have a bonus action as long as you don't do anything that breaks concentration, or you can just stay hunkered down and keep concentrating.
My only bonus action is Misty Step.
How's Larsha's emotional mental state?
The creator is very focused on what she's doing.
Okay.
In my mind, Larsha has awareness of what's going on, and she's starting to feel more and more anxious and more afraid and more helpless. But the only thing that I can do is walk over to where the Seed Bearer's mirror was, look at the broken pieces of the glass, and start trying to put them back together.
Okay, I love that. Perfect. With that, we go over to Alina and the Agrid soldiers. Let's see how well the Agrid soldiers do. They did a good job of keeping the Eldarians at bay. They start to lose a little bit. They're able to hold the line, but they are taking heavy casualties. Alina is going to look to you, Stephanie, and be like, what are you doing? We need to hide you.
Lena. And I see Lenos, right?
Yes.
Cool. I need you to do something for me.
We've got all the time in the world.
I need you to take Tailnor here. I'm going to hand over Tailnor. And
She puts her shield back behind her back. So, okay.
when that fox approaches, I'm going to give him something. And then I need you to follow him, okay?
Stephanie, we have to get you out of here. You have the stone.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Stephanie, what is your plan? Are you giving the stone to the Empress?
No, but she's going to think that I am.
Roll a persuasion check.
24.
I will follow that fox. You need to do whatever you need to do here. If that fox takes me into the city, I'm not going to go. I need to make sure that the men are being addressed properly here while we continue to fight off whatever this is.
Alina, who trained you?
Someone who apparently died a long time ago.
Ooh, harsh. You know I'm right here. I will lead the people here, and you follow the fox, okay? They will not be alone. They will have me here.
Fine. I will follow the fox once you do whatever it is you're going to do.
Wonderful.
With that, it's your turn.
So there's a couple things I want to do here, and I feel like since I already handed over Tailnor during Alina's turn, what I want to do is take off my cloak and wrap the stone in it.
You put the stone in the bag, so
Yes.
it'll be an action if you want to then take it back out and then wrap it, unless you're wrapping the bag.
No. So I'm like stuffing the cloak into the bag
Got it.
and then just kind of like bundling it up
Sure, easy enough. Yeah, you shovel it in there. Yeah, easy.
and then pulling that out. And I just kind of want to like tie a knot in my cloak.
Okay, that is a lot. So that will be an action to do all of that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I'll set that on the ground. And then once I do that, I'll just turn back to the Empress and be like, you know, if you want to do business, you don't have to threaten me into doing it. I'm a willing participant in this exchange.
Let me see the stone.
I hold up one finger. And the hooded lantern that I still have in my bag, I drop the copper shavings into.
I see where you're going with this. This is kind of cool. I like this a
That's
lot.
good.
It is the Empress's turn. Leave enough alive to remember losing to me a second time. And you see 24 soldiers start jumping out of the airship around her. They have these little propulsion packs that are keeping them from crashing into the ground. There are 20 Eldarian line soldiers. So these have like the dark steel lacquered crimson plates. These are the normal like grunts. And then behind them, you see that there are 4 of those shock troopers. And then she's going to raise her hand. And Stephanie, roll a d4 for me.
3.
Caius's cage opens.
Oh,
God damn it.
I see. Ty, does his T-pose increase his air resistance?
Yeah, is that a does that count as like a buff?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, if the cage opens, he's probably just still floating there. He's not affected by physics at all.
So you watch Alark. You can see this as the cage opens up and you see Caius land on the ground. His body doesn't like shatter, but you can see he's completely unconscious, ragged breathing. There are clearly limbs going in directions they shouldn't be going. Blood is coming out of the side of his mouth as he will be in death saves. And then the Empress goes, "My patience has run dry." It's Lenosia's turn.
How close did Lenoj get to Stephanie?
I think we said 40 feet away.
Yeah, he'll go right up to Stephanie.
Awesome. The Eldarians are going to go. We're going to see how well they do. I think it's because of Alina having just done that inspiring speech. The Agrid soldiers are holding the line right there with the Eldarians on the other side. And the other Eldarians that are those line soldiers and the shock troopers, they start advancing on all of essentially where Stephanie is and the rest of the soldiers. So they are close enough that they are going to get in range and start doing some fucked up shit. The infantry get up first. Some of them are going to go after some of the random Agarid soldiers. 4 of them are going to come up to Alina and Stephanie. 2 of them will start attacking Alina and 2 of them will start attacking Stephanie. So the 2 attacking Alina, first attack's going to miss. Second attack misses. So those 2 walk up and she's holding on to Tailnor, inspired by the cat's purrs. She's just like fending these guys off wildly. And then Stephanie, the 2 going after you, first one will for sure miss. An unnatural 20 for the second hit, which won't be too bad. You're just going to take 5 piercing damage as it has a spear and just kind of jabs you, just cuts the side of your arm a little bit. Those are the line soldiers. The shock troopers, 3 of them break off and are going after different parts of the Agrid soldiers, and only one of them is going to come up to the 2 of you. He's going to swing once at Alina, and he's going to swing once at you. That one will hit. Alina's going to take 19 slashing damage from that hit. She seems okay. It scrapes like the side of her armor and like cuts like just a piece of it, just a little scratch on the side of her arm. And then it's going to, as it slashes into her, it's going to use that momentum to swing over at you. That will be a 24 to hit. Mm-hmm. 14 slashing damage.
Uncanny dodge, since that seems to be the last attack of the night, right?
Because it hit both of you, you both are sapped. Both of you have disadvantage on your next attack roll. Because you were inspired, it essentially washes out. So your next attack roll
Will just be straight.
would be a straight hit. Yep. That is the Eldarian's turn. Alark, you're up.
How does Stephanie look? Fabulous.
29 out of 47.
I'm gonna run over to Caius. I mean, how far? Where did they drop?
He is
Close, right? You said
20
like, right
feet
in front.
away from Stephanie, so you have to run into the field.
Yep. Run to the field. I'm clenching my teeth. I'm gonna look down at Caius and why do you always pay for all mistakes? And I'm going to use my battle medic ability.
Cool.
So 9 points of healing. And then since I'm right there, I can oh fuck, how am I gonna get him out of here?
So what do you do with your battle medic ability? Like how do you describe what you're doing to his body?
The way I used to do it before I met Avizrian. I'm going to stop the bleeding. I'm going to...
the ABCs.
Mm-hmm.
Airway, breathing, circulation.
Mm-hmm. And...
Staying alive.
Yep. Whatever the Dulcian version of CPR is, just sort of get him awake again. And I do have my healer's kit, so whatever, herbs I can use to kind of healing magic.
I think he got an IO in that kit. You could drill a hole in his knee and
Ooh.
give him some fluids.
Sure. Yeah.
Most importantly, do you give him mouth to mouth?
I said my hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't do that anymore.
I was for sure going to say that's when he woke up.
You finally tell him
CPR
how you
rules,
feel.
Cool. Yeah, you set like a couple of his bones. He wakes up. Oh, fuck. Oh, Alaric, I hurt real fucking bad, man.
So sorry.
I hurt real
about
bad.
this.
Oh, God.
So sorry about this. try to get him upright.
Okay.
And then I do have a bonus action, so I'm going to use the last of my healing light on Stephanie because she's right there.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Cool. Larsha, you're up.
The creator is still completely focused and locked in on setting up the mansion. In the darkness, I'm starting to rearrange the pieces of the broken mirror faster and faster because it's the only thing I can keep my mind on to keep from thinking about how I remembered that I could feel the sigil on the card.
Yeah. You're finding the pieces. It's taking a little bit of time, and you're just slowly, from the bottom up, just rebuilding this fractured glass mirror.
I think my fingers are starting to bleed.
Yeah. Alina and the Agrid soldiers. I'm going to roll for the Agrid soldiers. Good thing it was advantage. They're not doing good, though. Even with advantage, it prevented them from having a nat 1, which could have been catastrophic right now. They are taking heavy casualties. The line that's behind the wall is pretty much at the wall. Their backs are to the wall at this point. And the ones that have been engaged by the line soldiers and shock troopers, they were paying attention to the threat on the other side, and they're getting overwhelmed quickly by the Eldarians. Alina is going to... she's gonna attack the 2 line troopers in front of her.
Can I tell her to stop before she does that?
So I was gonna say, she's gonna attack those soldiers and be like, Stephanie, what's the plan?
Same as I said before. I don't know. Like, how would I say, like, hey, just defend yourself in this moment. I'm going to talk in 6 seconds or, 1 second or whatever.
The same thing you would normally say, which is like, just give me a second. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm going to give you a second, and I'm going to attack these guys while I give you a second.
Okay, yeah, sure.
She'll hit the first line soldier. She'll miss the second line soldier. Cool. With her sword, she's going to do 14 slashing damage against this soldier, and then this like light comes from her arm. It empowers the blade, and he's going to take an additional 5 radiant damage from that, killing that first infantry soldier. So now there's only 1 that is in front of you, 1 plus the shock trooper. That is it for her turn. Stephanie, you're up.
Cool. So I'm going to say, I think after I get stabbed, I'm just going to be like, this is completely unnecessary. Look! And I'm going to turn the lantern on while still keeping it inside the bag, but so it, it ignites and it starts to burn the copper, which creates a blue flame. So this blue light comes from the bag.
Yep.
I'll be like, I've already said that I was going to cooperate. You 2 or 3 or 4 or however many of you are here, you want my help because guess what I have? I have all the memories of Agrid and all their secrets of all their warfare, and imagine how valuable that would be to the Empress.
Baller. With advantage, what's your intent with this line? Like, what are you hoping, ideally, that they'll take you to the ship?
Yeah.
Perfect. With advantage, make a persuasion check. You didn't lie about anything you just said.
18.
They got a nat 20 in their insight. So, here's what I'll say is going to happen. That shock trooper, even though it's not his turn, sees that bag. These things are like the Marines from I was going to say Star Trek, from StarCraft. Yeah. It grabs onto the bag and your arm, and he's going to start dragging you away with him on his turn.
That's fine. That's exactly what I want to have happen.
Yep. That is your action.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for you?
Alina, go with the fox.
What is Linoge doing?
He's picking up the wrapped up stone.
You have to tell Linoge to do that. He doesn't know that. Nobody knows that. Yeah. You've been doing that secretly, so no one knows.
Did I not say that out loud?
No.
Ball. Linoge, would you be a dear and take my cloak back to Alaric?
Cool. Perfect. Now that can happen.
Yeah, cool. And Alina.
Because otherwise the Linoge would have just sat there and be like...
I definitely thought I said that.
So at least Linoge now knows to do that, and then Alina knows to follow Linoge. Fantastic. It is the Empress's turn. Okay, so she sees that glowing light. I'm going to have her roll an insight check. She has a +9 insight.
I told you can't use that one.
It's another nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on a natural 20, the Empress, on her turn, looks down and, speaking to the shock trooper, goes, bring the other one as well. And so it's going to grab Alina, or at least it will try on its turn to grab her. And then this is because, again, she has made it very clear that she's lost patience. She's going to raise her hand, 2 fingers. Heave and glass-eyed cages are going to open.
I'm starting to think the Empress might be a bad guy.
That is wild. It's 55 again.
Huh.
As both those cages open up, Glass Eye will not be dead, but he will be in death saves. He's very close to hitting his max. But you do see Heave lands on the ground 5 feet away from you, Alaric, as he's like, oh, and he lands, and then same thing. His body just sort of implodes along the sides, almost like
Fucking hell.
seams along a pillow, and just
So humans are immune to dying from falling.
great. So that is going to be her turn. Lenoge is up. So Lenoge is going to grab the bag, I assume?
He'll grab the bag and start running back.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for Lenoge. This is essentially going to be, does the line trooper and the shock trooper make an opportunity attack against him?
Yeah.
He's just a little guy.
He's grabbing a bag. They were just told to bring everything.
That's a 17.
The infantry guy does not see it. The shock trooper will see it.
Would you let me do something in addition here to help out?
I don't know. Well, tell me what your thought is, and then let's see.
It's very in character.
Tell me what it is, and we will see.
If I see him notice Lenoge, I'm going to spit in his face.
Awesome. You can burn your reaction as he goes to swing. I'll say this is with disadvantage.
Yeah.
This attack, he gets a +9 to hit. What is Lenoge's armor class?
13.
With disadvantage, a 10
Ooh.
on the die.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I should not have buried the lead on that one.
Yeah.
And 19 to hit. What's Lenoge's HP max?
I have 3 written down. I don't know if that was something I should have rolled.
It doesn't need to. The minimum damage it can do is 8. So I'm not going to even roll for it. It sees Lenoge running, trying to grab that bag, and it's just going to... This big meaty foot goes down, and just Lenoge just turns into dust as he fades back into the pocket realm of familiars. All right. It's the Adarian's turn. So the ones in the back gate, they start to circle around. They've killed off the rest of the Agrid soldiers that are there. But that is their action, is finishing them off. So they come around. So now you've got troops swarming in from the gates. Alaric, you're up.
So Caius is there.
Sorry, I need to also clarify. At what point did the guy that's grappling me go?
Oh, thank you. He actually goes right now. He is going to try to grapple onto Alina. That is going to fail. Alina, as he goes to try to grab her, she just brings up her sword and just slashes against his wrist. He is going to stay in place because the Empress told him to bring her too. The other line soldier who's right there is going to try to grapple her. He fails as well, as she's able to just fend them both off. Lorik, your turn.
So, I think I still want to stall. I'm going to run up.
Okay, so you're running up to the fray. So you're engaged with the shock trooper, the line soldier, and then you're by Alina and Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna take a swing at the line trooper. Put some attention on me just to kind of add to the chaos because we need to stall.
Cool. So he's technically you would get advantage because he is flanked because you're running up behind him.
That's a natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell fucking yeah.
17 plus 6, that's 23 radiant damage.
You run up behind this guy as he's trying to grapple the princess, and he's using his blades to try to swat her blade back to just find an opportunity so he can tackle into her. And as he's doing that, he leaves his arm exposed. And you remember the training that you were taught of how to cut this stuff. So you see as his shoulder's up, you run up and you just grab onto his left shoulder. You take the blade and stick it right underneath his armpit, and the blade goes up and through and out his skull. And just pull it out, he dies.
Cool. And I get a second attack. Can I make it against the shock trooper?
Sure can.
All right. Okay, that's an 18.
18 will just hit.
Cool. 10 radiant damage. And then I to Stephanie, I'll be, what is the plan here?
The shock trooper's like, yeah, tell me. The shock trooper, so you do that with that, and then you pull your blade out, and it just kind of scrapes along his armor. It scratches the armor a little bit with only 10 damage. He's not even paying attention to you.
Okay.
Alaric, could you please get my cloak out of here? It's very important to me, and I don't want anything to happen to it.
You can get all of us out of here.
I'm going to kick you in the taint.
The shock trooper's like, these are the guys we were sent to get? What does the Empress want with these idiots? Larsha, you're up. You can use your action to keep concentrating.
Yes. Just still in the same headspace.
Awesome. Still putting the mirror back together. Alina's turn. I'm going to roll for the Agrid soldiers. They're doing pretty good. They're able to just keep the rest of the Eldarians distracted right now. Alina, as that one trooper falls, she's going to sacrifice her attack. She's going to like feint towards the shock trooper, and she's going to like try to kick the coat away and out into the field. So she's going to roll. I'm just going to make this an attack roll still, just to see if she can take this guy out. Okay, I'll say this. It doesn't quite hit, but so what she does is she goes to swing at him, and this guy's been on battlefields before, so he sort of recognizes the feint. He is going to use that opportunity. He's actually going to get the grapple on her, but she was able to kick it far away. So now on his turn, not right now, he has to wait till his turn, he will turn around and start marching towards the airship. Stephanie, you're up.
I want to say, Alaric, if you could please help Alina here get my cloak back to Larsha because she seems very cold. I will be there momentarily. And I am going to...
What the fuck is up with these idiots?
I'm going to reach into my bag, and I still have 3 blue dragon scales.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to angle those so that the lantern light, as it glows blue, reflects so it glows even brighter.
I'm going to call this a sleight of hand roll to see if you can do that. This should be your bread and butter.
You would think so. 24.
Cool. You can barely see it, but you can feel as your hand's in there, you can feel like the soft side versus like the scaly side, and you're able to reflect it so that it does start to glow a little bit more. So yeah, it looks like there's just more energy coming from the bag right now.
You know what? I just want to keep getting attention to myself. So I'm going to talk to the trooper and just be like, tell me, what are your thoughts on working for the Empress? Is this going to be a good business deal?
Oh, no, she's going to kill you. But, usually if you work for her from the beginning, like there's benefits. If I don't die in 20 years, I can retire.
She doesn't bring in outside hires.
No.
How does she get new ideas?
From inside. That's the thing is she just refuses to listen to reason sometimes. But you know what? It's a living.
You have to evolve with the times.
And you would think, but, ever since the cataclysm, she's been a different person, I tell you. It is the Empress's turn. She's commanding the airship to come down, so it's going to use its movement to just land down. So then the ramp is down on the ground, so the trooper will be able to use his movement to go up into the airship. It is the Eldarian's turn. They don't really have too many more Agrid soldiers to deal with. On a natural 20, they have no more Agrid soldiers to deal with as they slaughter the rest of the remaining Agrid soldiers that were here helping to defend this. So it's essentially you, Alaric, and Alina. Alaric, with that, you're up.
Okay. And the shock trooper dragged them?
So the Empress went, he started dragging them away from you.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, thank you for telling me that. So the shock trooper is using his movement, dragging Alina and Stephanie towards the ship. So he walked by you, and the bag's still on the ground. He is, at this point, maybe 10 feet away from the ship.
Alaric is going to run and scoop up the cloak.
Okay.
He's going to run up to the shock trooper.
Hey, you forgot your cloak.
It's really cold.
Hey, Stephanie, I got this for you.
Hey, Stephanie, you dropped this.
He's going to reach out and grab Stephanie's arm and dimension door. 500 feet.
Stephanie, are you willing?
No.
Okay. So you go to grab Stephanie, you dimension door to where Larsha is, and as you materialize, you've got the stone wrapped up. You are hidden now because you're back towards like where that door was. Stephanie's not with you.
Shit. Stephanie's still out there.
What?
God damn it. She's right there with the Empress.
We don't have time.
For the sake of this, both of you can have your turn at the same time. You've used your action, obviously, in your movement, but you can co-create this moment by both taking your turn here, because you're both on initiative count 20 anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Lark, what happened?
I have the stone. I thought I would get Stephanie out of there, but she's still there. She didn't
What?
want to go. They are being overrun. I can't go back. Fuck.
Larsha, what are you doing?
I'm still casting.
We cut over to Alina. She is going to try to break the grapple. She's still grappled, and she looks over to you, Stephanie, and goes, well, at least we're going to die together. That's something. Missed you last time it happened.
Yes. Well, you know what they say about getting do-overs in life.
Yeah.
And
I don't think, but okay, sure. Stephanie, you're up.
Since I found the one dragon scale, I want to find the other two and drop them on the ground.
Yeah, I think you can just throw them on the ground.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go, you know, Alina, when you died the first time, what did that feel like?
You know when you're dreaming and there's that moment where you realize you're dreaming, but it's actually a nightmare, and you're trying to wake yourself up, and you can feel your anxiety rising even though you're perfectly asleep and perfectly safe? Times that anxiety by 100. That's what it feels like.
So kind of like this moment.
Nothing like this moment, Stephanie.
Is this better or worse?
Much, much better. It is the Empress's turn. She is just going to use her movement, her action, to use telekinesis to just bring the shock trooper onto the rest of the ship. That door is going to close, and the ship is going to take off with Alina and Stephanie inside. Fellow Wanderers, before we get to our normal credits, some details about our upcoming release schedule. With the party officially split, we've been recording episodes separately to keep the suspense up, and because of that, our next few episodes won't have our typical tea time talkbacks between the main episode releases. So we'll still release every 2 weeks with main episodes, and instead of tea time, we'll be releasing some one-shots we recorded way back in early 2025 that we kept in our back pockets for just such an occasion. Tales of the Ever After is Randall Marsh as Alaric Athilden, Kate J. White as Larsha Athilden, Lynn Shephard as Stephanie Bradshaw, and Tyler Boroff, that's me, as your DM. Our theme music is by Randall Marsh, and our cover art is by Lisa Turban. Editing and sound design is by yours truly. Connect with us over on Instagram or Threads at Tales of the Ever After, and also on Blue Sky at Tales of Ever After. Tea time for this episode will be out next week as normal, and Tales of the Ever After will be back on Tuesday, March 3rd. We'll see you then.
Important question.
What the fuck?
No, is my weasel okay?
Roll a d20.
Okay. It's a 3.
He dies. He's biting the hand of the shadow.
It's worth a shot.
Anything else you want to question about my design theory?
Yeah, why did boats fall from the sky?
How did they rise from the ocean
I don't know how they
into
got
the
up there in the first
sky?
place.
The squids taught them.
With the land squids are like,
Yeah.
guys, check this out.
With some additional consulting from the sexy squids.
Mhm.
We're land and sea squids. Now it's time for us to become air squids.